What is up, nerds? Plugged In is back and better than ever. I'm X, your host, along with Morgan and Ant. Today we're going to be discussing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the new Flash trailer, Hogwarts Legacy, and so much more. So let's roll that intro. So to start us off today, let's talk about one of the most hyped up movies in the MCU today, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I'm honestly as stoked as any Marvel fan. The trailer dropped recently, which gives us a good idea of what the premise is going to be like. It's going to look into Rocket's past a little bit, see whether he actually is a raccoon or not, because I know it's a very touchy subject for him. We'll get to see past Gamora conflict with Quill and the rest of the team, so that's going to be interesting. And of course, there's a lot surrounding that. It's going to be the second of 3 films in Phase 5 of the MCU this year, so I'm pretty ecstatic for it. I don't know what you think about it, Ant.
No, I am so excited. I think that this has the making to be like one of the most emotional films in like the past like few phases, like after the Endgame Infinity War saga. I think that this is shaping up to be really good. I mean, we'll finally figure out whether Rocket is, like you said, a raccoon or, as Thor says, a rabbit. Very important stuff. Plus, it seems like there's going to be a lot of really good character development for almost all of the cast. So, yeah, I'm so hyped.
Yeah. Also, one of the most, I want to say, prevalent theories in the fandom right now is that in this movie, unfortunately, one of our beloved characters is going to bite the big one.
I don't want to think about that, honestly.
None of us do.
Yeah.
Like, I've pretty much heard rumors about almost every single character in the Guardians of the Galaxy lineup at this point, and I'm just going to go into it knowing nothing about it, because that's how I like to do with these movies, and just hope for the best. Hopefully nobody dies, and if they do, they at least pull it off well. But regardless, I'm pretty ecstatic to see how it pans out and see what they do with it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, theorists really just can come up with anything and find evidence for it. Like, for all we know, Rocket's supposed girlfriend is going to take off its head, and oh my God, it's Agatha again. It's always Agatha.
No, it was
oh my
Agatha
God.
all along.
It was Agatha all along. You never know. Like, I do think that some of the theories might be true, unfortunately, but we're not going to know until the movie releases, and I think that speculation is really going to help bring up the already high levels of hype.
Definitely. Also, in the one part of the trailer, we're in the colorful spacesuits in space. Did anybody else kind of think of like the crewmates from Among Us? I don't mean to be that girl, but does it kind of look like that?
Unfortunately, you're correct. I think that may actually be a reference to it.
I think the first time I saw it, it was during the Super Bowl, and I literally pointed and yelled Among Us just to see what reaction I could get from my friends. They were not happy.
Yeah, I mean, they already put Fortnite into Endgame, so why not put another popular video game reference in there?
Yeah, fans are going to eat it up.
Oh my God, new theory. They dressed up like Among Us. One of them's an imposter. Oh my God.
Oh, and that's how one of them dies.
That's it.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
That got dark real quick.
It's betrayal.
But either way, I'm just really excited for it, because first, of course, we have AntMan coming up first this weekend, and then we have that coming out in the summer, and then, why am I stumped on, what's the third one coming out this year?
The next one?
Oh, Marvels. Marvels,
yes.
I think, is the third one
Yes.
coming out in 2023. So all exciting projects, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that.
There is one thing that we haven't touched on for both the Ant-Man and for the Guardians. I'm so excited for the villain lineup that's coming up. Like, with Ant-Man, we got Kang the Conqueror right into the High Evolutionary.
Yeah. And MODOK.
And MODOK, of course MODOK.
And then don't forget, if you remember the end of Guardians 2, Adam Warlock.
Yes,
Yeah.
Adam Warlock.
He's coming in too. That's going to be exciting to see him in that. But overall, it's going to be really interesting to see, and I imagine it's going to be a pretty easy win for the box office for Marvel. So
Definitely.
we'll just have to wait and see how it turns out.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone, don't forget to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and if you haven't seen Ant-Man Quantumania, go see it. So next up on our list, we have another trailer going from Marvel to DC. our trailer for The Flash, starring Ezra Miller and the Batman who returns, Michael Keaton.
I saw the trailer and I was honestly pretty surprised by it. I know it's kind of been a hit or miss with DCEU lately, with James Gunn joining and of course all the controversy with Ezra Miller. I'm still kind of baffled the movie's even going with everything that's going on with them, but regardless, it looks pretty great. They've already tackled the Flashpoint storyline in the Flash TV show on the CW. Yeah. And I think they did a pretty good job with it. But I'm excited to see what they do with the big budget take on it, bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman, and also bringing in a new actress to play Kara as Supergirl. So it all looks pretty great. It looks funny, and they have some great special effects in there. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, same. I'm really enjoying the costume design for this. I think the Flash has never looked better on the movies, at least. I really enjoy both the new actress and the new costume for Supergirl. It's Michael Keaton's Batman. There's no way not to be giddy about that. And also, they teased the Flash suit ring, which that made me way more excited than it probably should have.
Yeah. Comic readers are squealing in their seats right now.
Yeah. No, I think this is exactly what they need to bring the DCEU back into the limelight. And hopefully they give it as much care as it deserves. Because without it, it's gonna be disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah, it's either going to be the saving grace or the ultimate downfall of the DCEU. But either way, I'm really excited for it. I do agree the costume design looks great. I actually really like the Flash's suit for this film. And overall, I'm really excited to see Michael Keaton come back as Batman. He looks just as good, if not better than ever. And also it's going to be a fresh start because from what I've heard, they are going to ignore the events of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which are, I think, originally part of that Batman timeline, but he was obviously recast, so they're not acknowledging that. Right. But either way, I'm really interested to see how they kind of take on that and how that version of Batman has been doing since the films.
Yeah. I've seen the trailers. I've started theorizing about possible villains for the Flash. Like there was a part of the trailer I saw Blue Lightning, and me, having watched CW Flash a lot, I instantly thought Zoom.
Yeah, either Zoom or I think Reverse Flash in the TV version, and in some renditions of the comics, the Flashpoint storyline, which the movie's based off of, there was Reverse Flash as well. But either way, I'm really interested to see who they decide to pick for either of those villains, or if it's somebody different entirely.
I did hear about the possibility of Zoom, but I don't think that it makes sense, because they showed a screenshot of a blue lightning bolt going through like the Flashpoint Barry Allen's chest, and then also them running off of each other. So I'm thinking that just might be the differentiating color to tell which one's which.
All right. So the Flash will be out soon. Prepare yourselves, everyone. Now, moving on from that, we have one of the most talked about video games, especially on Twitch at the moment, Hogwarts Legacy.
Ooh, yeah.
That's been a pretty solid one. I've heard both good and bad things about it. Apparently it's been really successful, and regardless of how you feel about it and the controversy, it's very successful. Currently it stands as, I believe, the most streamed or the highest player peak of any single player paid game on Steam, with around 500,000 plays, which is pretty insane. I mean, it is a Harry Potter game. People go crazy over that. It's a big franchise, but it's really excited to finally have a really solid, hopefully high quality game with an elaborate storyline, and that allows players to kind of just make it their own sandbox. Do whatever they want, as they could be their own characters at one of the most famous magical schools in media.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Harry Potter. I've never really gotten into that side, but honestly, it looks great. The game looks like there was a lot of effort put into it, and the fact that all 4 different houses have different quests, different storylines, different characters, it proves how much work went into this game. And this might sound weird, but I think the controversy actually helped build its popularity more and more. Like, because this is like the first game in a long time that people made a website that would automatically take you to anyone who was streaming the game. And then they also got that site taken down. The media reception and the social reception from this game has been left and right, like back and forth. There's no middle from what I've seen.
I can understand to a certain extent why people would want to not play it or even boycott it, because there have been issues with that. Because it is set in the 1800s and you can play as a character of either gender, but with the controversy surrounding rolling transphobic comments. And it's definitely worth talking about. If you don't want to play it, that's fine. If you do want to play it, that's okay too. But either way, it seems like a very fantastic game and a lot of people put effort into it. So I feel like it's at least worth checking out.
Plus, Avada Kedavra go brr.
I'm not even going to be put in a house. They're just going to send me straight to Azkaban.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I felt that.
No, I agree.
So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, everyone. Love it or hate it, at least give it a check. Then next up, we have a live-action anime adaptation from Netflix about One Piece. The adaptation is real. What are our thoughts?
I am so excited. As a massive One Piece fan myself, it is so exciting, and it might actually get me back into Netflix just to watch it, because everything looks great. They got the nationalities right, like Luffy being Brazilian, Sanji being French, Usopp being South African. They got it all great. The actors look great, and I also heard that there was a bit of controversy surrounding the casting for Sanji, because he didn't look enough like Sanji. But he's been posting on his social media that not only is he learning how to do kickboxing and how to actually fight using his legs, he also has been taking cooking classes so that he can be the real life Sanji, which I think is amazing effort. I'm so excited.
That's fantastic. I admire that dedication. And personally, I'm not an anime fan. I have heard that live-action Netflix adaptations haven't exactly fared well in terms of anime projects, but either way, it could be a hit or a miss. But if you're excited about it, I guess it's worth checking out.
Do we think it's going to be different from examples like Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, Fullmetal Alchemist, those live-action adaptations? What do you think about that?
I'm very much hoping so, because One Piece is unironically one of the most streamed animes of all time. It's one of the big three. So if they mess this up, then there's going to be so much backlash.
Yeah.
So here's hoping.
Yeah. So One Piece live action adaptation. The adventure isn't over yet, everyone. And next up, we have the next edition of the Joker, Folie à Deux. Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. What do we all think?
I'm pretty excited to see it. I mean, it could be, again, a hit or a miss with this one. Musicals can do really well. Superheroes have, of course, done especially well recently. So kind of combining that, it's definitely going to be experimental, but it's going to be very exciting to see. I mean, Lady Gaga has proven herself to be an extraordinary actress as well as a musician, of course. So seeing her step into the boots of the Joker's love interest / ally, it's definitely going to be a very interesting take, to say the least. But I'm pretty excited for it. I do hope it does really well. If the first Joker was in good hands, I think the sequel might do well.
Yeah. Also, one thing I mentioned from my first time on Plugged In was when we talked about the Falcon becoming Captain America. And I said that if we judge the new Captain America based on the old Captain America, it might make their accomplishments less. And I feel like that stands for comparing Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn to Margot Robbie's, because Margot Robbie already kills it as Harley Quinn, but this is also a very different universe.
A very different Joker.
It's a very different Joker.
This isn't Margot's Joker. This is Lady Gaga's Joker.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we have the multiverse in full swing now, so that gives more opportunity for actors to simultaneously have their own unique takes on a character. So while you can kind of compare, contrast as you want, it's good to keep an open mind and to look into these actors. They take on these really interesting roles, and I'm pretty excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, so am I. And honestly, for me, I think Lady Gaga was probably perfect for the role of Harley Quinn, because if you remember reading the DC comics about Joker and Harley Quinn, you'll already know that they had a pretty bad romance.
Oh, good Lord.
All right, that's all for tonight, guys.
Now, in terms of upcoming movies, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, coming out February 17th, or on time of airing, it's out now. Go watch it. We all excited for that?
I'm really excited. I'm going to see it on Sunday, the weekend after it comes out, and I'm really ecstatic. I know we've talked about it a little bit there, but it's going to be, I'm just shaking my boots right now. I'm really excited. I think Ant-Man's a really underrated superhero in the MCU, so I'm really excited where they're going to go with that. But I'm just ecstatic. I can't even put it into words.
Now, as an ant myself,
Oh, God.
I'm so hyped. Like, again, I mentioned it before, Kang the Conqueror is such an interesting villain. From the one snippet of him talking that I've seen, the actor is perfect for the role. And I am just so excited for where they're going with this.
And he also had a Best Actor nomination at the Oscars, so he has already kind of put his foot in the door and has proven his acting prowess.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see.
Perfect.
Right. So again, like I said, Ant-Man Quantumania, out now. Go see it. And then next on our list of sequels and threequels, we have Creed 3, releasing on March 3rd. And then we have Scream 6, March 10th.
Scream 6 already? I thought the Scream 5 just came out.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, they're just pushing those bad boys out at this point. But Scream is one of my favorite horror movie franchises. So I'm definitely going to give it a try. But it seems pretty good.
Yeah, well, hey, don't be afraid.
Do not.
No, I think the marketing for the movie so far has been so interesting. With just the making the Scream mask out of the New York subway trains, I think that's so creative, and I think it's going to pay homage to a couple things. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Then next up, we have another DC entry, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, March 17th.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. I liked Shazam. I thought it was pretty good, but I'm not sure where they're gonna go with this. So.
Yeah, neither do I. It's going to feature the entire Shazam family, as far as I know.
Yeah.
The Shazamly.
The Shazamily.
The Shazamly.
Yeah. And then, last but certainly not least, we have John Wick, Chapter 4, the reason why you shouldn't kill a man's dog.
Yeah, how many times do they have to kill that man's dog, honestly?
Yeah, really, I feel like PETA's gonna start jumping on them with all these dogs.
Oh, Lord, don't bring them into this conversation.
First of all, John Wick might as well join the Humane League. He's going to just take down all the animal abusers. He should.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah. I'm very excited for John Wick, just being serious. I think it's gonna be a really good, another really good action movie.
All right. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, seems like that's all the time we have left. Again, I'm your host. I'm X. That's Ant. This is Morgan. And tune in next week for yet another riveting discussion in the world of pop culture and just general nerdery. I bid you adieu.